tell them my clothes no starch, please. Soon as you can go, leave. Got M's in the bank, like yes, indeed. Me and my dog going all the way. When you're living like this, they supposed to have. Brand new whip, got no keys. Tell them my clothes no starch, please. Soon as you can go, leave. Got M's in the bank, like yes, indeed. Me and my dog going all the way. When you're living like this, they supposed to have.
Went to Six Flags came up and said, hey yo, can we get a pic? I said no. And they said, oh, it's Wolfgang Yonkers. Goblin is my shit though.
Inspire you, make you believe the bullshit, that's what liars do. See, we roll like tires do. If you admire me, then I admire you.
What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of the daily live stream. It is Tuesday. I am excited to be here. There are so many topics to cover in so many different markets today. It's your host, Crypto Bro. Can't even talk right now. It's Tuesday. I'm excited. We got my lady here in the background. She's just going to be chilling, playing some video games. Don't mind her. It's all about the TA today. And Bitcoin. Damn it, I already need water. Bitcoin being the most exciting for me, at least in my perspective today, as I got this close to being stomped out of my position. So a lot of exciting things to talk about today. And as always, I want to give everybody a reminder that the following content is provided as educational and entertainment purposes only. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments, as I am not a financial advisor. If you make a decision based off the speculative content that I provide, it's your own fucking problem. That's pretty much what that means. So there's your warning, there's your disclaimer. It's not my responsibility if you make a dumb decision based off my analysis. And without further ado, we're going to head right into NASDAQ here today. We're going to get that bad boy started up. What is it saying to us today? Boring. A little bit of boring price action here today. You know, basically, shorter term time frames are basically consolidating around that all-time high right now. Again, you know, seeing those new all-time highs, you know, we're going to see some rejections, right? And we didn't even close on new all-time highs with this candlestick here today. Well, technically, yesterday's candle closure actually got this Darth Maul reversal style candlestick here at the top of formation. So it is time to kind of like pay attention to what to what that underlying meaning of that candlestick represents, right? There's indecision on those new all-time highs, right? So, you know, this is basically a reversal style candlestick that we do see at the top of this formation, and that tells us, hey, could potentially reverse. And again, a reversal style candlestick is not indicative of direction of that reversal. We got to remember that. All it's telling us is that, hey, we got some indecision from both sides of the ballpark right now, the bulls and the bears, with a little bit of indecision here in this market. We could easily see reversal to the upside, which at the end of the day is my underlying disposition. Again, as long as we remain above that 21 exponential, I'm going to be gearing up for continuation, barring any kind of black swan event. But we do see RSI here deep within the bullish control zone, you know, kind of going a little stagnant, a little bit sideways here, not really printing any new highs just yet. So again, that's just indicative of that, you know, indecision-esque movement here on, on yesterday's candle closure. We are seeing a little bit of a bounce up as a result today. We have plenty of time left in today's candlestick. It doesn't really mean anything, in my opinion, other than wait for something, right? We did see closure above that 1.272 Fibonacci extension target, and we got a secondary candle closure above it, which tells me we have found tentative support around that region here. At the, again, 1.272. This is not necessarily a breakout point. Actually, the breakout point is right here. So seeing even a catastrophic pullback all the way down to this region here at 15,375 would not be out of the question, in my opinion, to present a possible higher low within the structure. But nonetheless, I remain absolutely bullish. We do see a soft cross down right now for the stochastics in the bullish critical zone. What does that tell me? Not much, really, right? Again, we don't see price action, reacting, reversing or doing anything that's concerning, in my opinion. We could easily start seeing a similar formation here on stochastics, where we got all that coiling, powerful bullish action in the bullish critical zone here. That definitely could play out. Although, in my opinion, it's a little too early to tell. Again, that's why we plan, right? If you fail to plan, your plan is to fail. Expect nothing and prepare for everything. So what am I preparing for here today? Obviously, I'm preparing, for an absolute launch continuation to that 1.414 Fibonacci target. Where is that at here? 15,785. We're going to round it up, give or take a few bucks here. I am still looking for that as a general target, just because we have confirmed above the 1.272 or 15,475 as new tentative support, which provides the the basis, the probability to see extension to that upside target is more likely than not. It doesn't have to happen, obviously. That's just one of the plans that I have outlined for this. I also have a plan for a potential pullback to one of the following levels. 15,475 again, that 1.272, or even back here to the breakout point at 15,375. Pullback to those regions here would not be out of question. Even a sharper pullback to the 21 exponential, if we're talking about a macro level move here. Again, basing off of macro lows that we saw, two of them in the past. We saw this one dip below the 21 exponential and print a higher low in the structure, and I do believe that higher low was printed off the green 55, a moving average that I am currently not using. Again, it's it's barring my own strategies here, but we can pull up the green 55 and look at that perfect touch here. We saw a nice little back test of the green 55 here. I don't think this one really tested any moving average. It just tested the yellow 21, printed a higher low here, printed another higher low here off the green 55, continued onwards and upwards. So in my opinion, as long as we remain above this this prior base low here at 14,830, the premise for a potential higher low is very possible. As far as a macro low is concerned, and this low here, yeah, it would be a little concerning, and that would be my trigger here at the 15,290 region, or the prior low here. Taking that region out would definitely be indicative of a greater pullback overall. But again, from a macro standpoint, as long as we're above that prior low here, I have no reason to think that this isn't going to continue on long term as a bullish structure. But that's kind of how I'm looking at NASDAQ here today. Still bullish. I'm still absolutely bullish on this until proven otherwise. I'm going to remain with my basis of upside movements here. That is my general, opinion, and that's what the technical analysis is telling me. Right? I don't trade my opinion. I trade technical analysis. It's basic rule of thumb here. And again, while my opinion is bullish as fuck, right, to the moon, skyrocket to the moon, buy long on everything, doesn't have to play out that way, which is why I rely on the analysis to tell me what I'm supposed to do rather than relying on my opinion. So we're going to move on to SPY futures here. Kind of the same deal here, except we're kind of like consolidating on that one spot 272. We haven't really, I don't think we really broke it. If I really zoom in and get real precise with this level here, I do not think we actually broke it, although I do believe today is a possible day that we do see this break to the upside, and conditions are very, very easy from my perspective at this point. If we do see a candle closure above the one spot 272 or the 45.30 spot 50 region here, I'll look for a back test again to confirm it as new tentative support or just continuation. Again, the secondary candle closure above will confirm support whether it touches or not, right? I'm always looking for that secondary candle closure above. If we do get that condition met, I'll have no reason not to think the one spot 414 on this one is the next potential target. 45.87 right on the money. It's kind of the money shot target here. Again, if we get confirmation above the one spot 272. For now, we did see a rejection of that target. I mean, the target was met, but we got this Darth Maul, just like NASDAQ. We got that Darth Maul reversal style candlestick here, and again, indicative of no direction. This does not tell me what direction it is going to reverse. It could reverse to the upside. It could reverse to the downside. Have a plan for both, right? Have a plan for both. But we do see a little bit of a cross here on stochastics, but right, we're not seeing that strength, right? Just like right here, we saw the cross and then boom, right, to the downside. We don't really have that strength. It's really a real soft cross here, which tells me that seeing some of that coiling action here on the stochastics, which is bullish as fuck in my opinion, is very possible to play out here for price action. And again, if price action just continues to rise onwards and upwards, it's just going to solidify my my confidence in that move to the one spot 414 here. But if we continue to reject this region here and confirm it as new tentative resistance, I'll have no reason not to look for a soft pullback to the first level here at 44.95 spot 75, potentially even test the prior low here at 44.71. But the disposition remains the same. We could see a little bit more of a medium-term reversal, test the green 55, bounce back up, and continue the on trend. That would not, the uptrend, that would not be out of the question. We've seen it happen a few times before. This one more predominant on the green 55 than NASDAQ. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples of where this is absolutely relevant here with price action. Again, nice breakdown below the 21 exponential. Boom, hits the green 55, pops back up, test the green 55 again. Nice little uptrend continuation, new all-time highs, a pullback, hits that green 55 right here once again. Boom, new all-time highs. You can't make this stuff up. The evidence is right there. So potential test, potential pullback to test that green 55 from a wick basis would not be out of the question. However, if I'm looking for reversal style indications here, I'm looking for candle closures below the base low at 43.88 spot 25, right? Until candles are opening and closing below that region here, I am not going to be looking for any kind of reversal formations. And quite simply point, as you guys already know, I'm looking at that yellow 21 exponential as my main disposition for positions here. And as long as price action remains above the 21, I am absolutely full-blown bullish to the upside. And again, intermediate pullbacks to these lower levels here, these soft targets to the downside wouldn't be out of the question. But again, RSI in the bullish control zone once again, going for new highs, very potential. Stochastics in the bullish critical zone. All signs point to continuation as far as the daily time frame is concerned here. We'll move on to Dow Jones. I am curious. Ooh, seeing some pressure. I wonder if we didn't put in a new high, and we didn't. We actually put in a top here. Bearish divergence, new high. Ooh, slightly lower high. So that bearish divergence is called and confirmed on the RSI, and I think we've seen some of that play out already. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of a back test of the 35-150 region here, or this the top side of this blue box territory would not be out of the question at all. But we got another confirmed test of the 21 exponential. What's more concerning to me is that we're looking like we're ready to curl over here on stochastics at the top, at kind of the middle of the bullish control zone here, which would be indicative of not so good momentum here from the bullish perspective, right? We already got our major high here, and printing a lower high on stochastics not going to be the most delicious call that I've ever seen, to be quite honest with you. Definitely indicative of the bullish momentum losing some of that power, some of that strength here, right? And the RSI definitely evident of that as well, already confirming two more lower highs, right? We got our prior high here, and then boom, another lower high followed by another lower high, both of which were confirmed as bearish divergence. Seeing that that RSI cross below the exponential here, definitely putting this micro structure here to the test. And again, even if we break this microstructure, it's not going to be a death sentence, in my opinion, for Dow Jones long term, right? But we will have a potential downtrend in formation. And this is the only one, in my opinion, that is a little concerning. We already got, a little bit of a top call here. If we continue down and take out this region here, or the prior base low of 34,700, we'll call it, give or take a few bucks. Any candle closures below there, I will call a change of behavior on the daily time frame, especially more so if we see a secondary open and closure below that to confirm it as new tentative resistance. I will be very confident in downside continuation to this level first, right around 34,450, and likely lower, right? We'll likely have a downtrend in formation. It'd be very interesting to see how that plays out. But if we continue to bounce, off this 21 and continue to consolidate up, I have no reason not to look for a test of the current all-time high resistance, somewhere around 35,648. And again, I have to play by my rule, right? The rule that I actually physically wrote down: as long as price action remains above the 21 exponential, I am going to be looking for upside momentum here. Although we do have evidence from the momentum oscillators here telling us that may not be the case, we are still closing candles above the 21. Until I get that open and closure below the 21, I am not going to be saying, yo, it's time to short. It's short calls, anything like that, because we do not have confirmation of that just yet. We could easily just see a booming reaction coming into tomorrow, sending price action up to new all-time highs, and you can't call a signal that's not present. I have no signals that tells me that we have any downside continuation just yet. I understand we have some bearish divergence playing out on the RSI and a little bit of weakening momentum here on the stochastics. However, 21 is still holding, and as long as 21 holds, I have a little bit of hopium. Now that could very easily change. Again, that doesn't mean that I'm not considering the potential for the 21 to break, which I've already covered a couple of the targets to the downside. But again, we're above it, right? We're closing consistently above the 21. I can't change my technical standpoint on that price action. So it's kind of how I'm looking at Dow Jones. It is looking a little bit worse off, in my opinion, than NASDAQ and SPY futures, which are printing all-time highs, absolutely explosive, while Dow Jones here just kind of limp dicks it off to the side. It'll be interesting to see what price action does. I don't imagine that Dow Jones wouldn't put new all-time highs in, just because of the explosive power that's in NASDAQ and SPY futures here. When is it going to be Dow Jones, right? Are we going to see those market rotations force Dow Jones to new all-time highs, or is Dow Jones going to be our first, kind of indication of, hey, maybe we got a downtrend in formation? Don't know, but I'm planning for it. We're going to check out the Dixie. What is Dixie telling us? I need some water. Ooh, consolidation on the daily time frame. Ooh. But guess what? We're closing candles still below the 21 exponential. We close another one. We closed another one below the 21 exponential, but look at that. Look at that crazy shit, right? That low that I was telling you guys about, that was basically like the last hopium mumbo jumbo here. This prior low here at 92.51. We saw a sharp bullish reaction on a confirmation test of that region. And again, this is why it's so important to wait for confirmation, because, you know, an aggressive trader, you know, maybe a less experienced aggressive trader could have looked at this and said, yep, it's definitely going to break, open is short, and then boom, they're immediately at a loss. We confirm this region as support, which does provide the basis that we could be looking at another higher low in the structure. I would consider this a higher low if we see continuation above the 21 exponential. I would expect RSI here to point up, which it's already kind of doing right off the 50 read here. I would expect it to point up and confirm that low call here based on that 50 read, and I would be very confident at that point if that condition is met for continuation all the way back up to 92.96, maybe 97, likely further. Maybe even new highs again, you know, over the medium term here. Again, I want to play it level by level. I don't want to just say, yep, I'm expecting new highs, because anything can happen in this market. We could easily see this print as a, you know, as a higher low, and then come up, print a lower high, and then our whole, you know, our whole uptrend theory is completely debunked, right? So that's why it's, you know, so important to look at different perspectives, have plans for each perspective, and then execute your plans upon given that specific signal. For now, we are closing candles below that 21 exponential moving average, which is a very, very, very big catalyst on my analysis and my positions here. And as long as we are remaining below the 21 exponential, I'm going to expect pressure on that low call here, 92.51. Again, if that region here closes, any candle closure below that region will be indicative of a change of behavior. A change of behavior will be confirmed, and it will be confirmed even more so if we see a back test or a secondary open and closure below to confirm new resistance here. I will be looking for a pullback, even more so all the way to this first level here, 92 bucks. We'll just call it 92.1 even, right? That would be my first change of behavior target here to the downside, and obviously I would have like a little bit more hopium to look for downside targets even further, right? Because you know, from my perspective, it's kind of a good thing for the rest of the market from a bullish perspective if the US dollar index declines, right? And we've seen historical evidence of this being accurate here. When the US dollar index goes to the upside, what do we see cryptocurrencies doing? Coming to the downside. What do we see the stock market doing? Coming to the downside. When we see Dixie coming down, all of a sudden cryptocurrencies popping up, going up to the moon, right? What?
No, I was talking about reindeer.
Oh, okay. It's my lady. She's awesome.
I'm playing Planet Zoo.
Planet Zoo, you guys. Holy shit. You can build shit. It's not my cup of tea, but you can build shit. So that's kind of my disposition on Dixie here, but you know, something to be a little cognitive of, you know, we got this, you know, potential 3-point trend line to the upside here on the stochastics. We're already seeing a little bit of that pressure forcing stochastics to the upside. We could very easily see this region hold, right? And this is, you know, this is kind of my basis of, you know, potentially seeing that higher low structure. Again, you got to look at all the evidence and look at all the dispositions for that evidence on both sides. You know, for the bullish perspective, we do have, you know, upside pressure pushing stochastics, you know, a little bit up here, looking like it wants to bounce off this diagonal trend line and confirm a third touch point. So we do have that. We do have RSI bouncing off the 50 read, getting ready for a potential low call. Like I said, if we do see candles close above this resistance, which would be in line with that yellow 21, we will get a low call on the RSI, and I will be confident of that continuation to the first target here. And you know, that would be indicative of, you know, potential, you know, long-term bull trend continuation here. Again, higher low structure is still valid as far as I'm concerned. And you know, if we get another, you know, higher low here and then continue to new highs, I'm just going to be absolutely bullish on this asset, which in my opinion is not going to play out so well with Bitcoin, which we are about to get to. I'll tell you why I'm concerned about Bitcoin a little bit. What do we see here? We're seeing this resistance, and you know, I've made these critical levels here much bigger for, you know, visual reasons here, so that you guys can understand how important these levels are from my perspective. Again, alongside the 21 exponential here. You know, with price action doing what it's doing right now, we saw yesterday's candle here, boom, skyrocket above, get some people excited. Just kidding, fuck you. Close below resistance, right? New tentative resistance has been confirmed, and I'm going to be eyeballing this region for now as resistance. I'm going to be looking for any kind of push up to this region here for whatever reason to get fastly rejected with swift might to the downside. 47,644 spot 5 is kind of the level here. Or did I mess that up? I think I messed that up. We'll move that up. That's kind of the region that I'm looking at now. This is kind of the region. Let me go ahead and say that again. 48,000. We'll just call it 48,000 right on the dot. Is a very, kind of a critical level here. Not as critical as this upside level here. Again, we could see the 21 exponential here hold as support. That would not be out of the question. But look at the pressure, right? We're starting to see all that pressure, right? Take away from the, the positivity of this slope, right? Where it was real sharp to the upside down here, it's kind of starting to roll over a little bit. We're starting to see the 21 roll over a little bit. It tells me that momentum is waning from the bullish perspective. Again, unless we see some kind of boom to the upside, I'm looking for that 21 to potentially break to the downside. If we get an opening closure below the 21, the first target that I'm going to be looking for is 44,600. And you bet your bottom dollar, if we get that confirmation candle closure below the 21 exponential, I will be opening a fresh new short position, and then basically, utilizing the 21 as resistance the whole way down. And this would be my first general target, but again, I would be looking for more of a pullback out of the $42,200 region here, and this is a critical level in my opinion here. Any break below that box, I do believe price action could be shot all the way back down to $37,650. Which would be indicative of that potential bear market that we've been talking about for a few days, potentially playing out, right? I've gone over the examples. You know what? I'll fucking do it anyway. I'll do it anyway. We're gonna bring up the Huff 104. We're gonna bring the examples here. HMA, Huff 104. We need to go to the weekly time frame. We need to be on this chart right here. Boom, right? We're gonna look at the first example in the past. If I can find it. There it is. So here's our first example here, right? We got our blow off top, major bull market, just absolutely catastrophic green candles to the upside, followed by what? Downtrend on the weekly. Followed by what? First candle closure below the Huff 104, followed by a back test, a retest, a structural lower high. Boom, year-long bear market. And then here we have a bull market, right? Huff 104 gets taken out, back test this new tentative support, boom. Big bull market. I think a 2-year bull market all the way to the 2017 blow off top at $20,000, right? And then here we go again. Nice little downtrend. Boom. First candle closure below. Back test. Boom. Rejection. Year-long bear market. Now we come to today's current price action. What do we see? Nice big old, multi-month. I don't know if this was a year-long bull market, but definitely for some months for sure. Confirmed here, I guess you could say. Yeah, maybe a year-long bull market here was definitely played out for Bitcoin. But then look, boom, right? First candle closure, and now we're seeing that back test. We're seeing that back test, and we got that confirmation weekly candle closure below the Huff 104. It has positive slope here, but that doesn't mean shit if candles are closing below it, right? Candles closing below it tells me that the pressure is to the downside. Weekly RSI looking for a fresh cross and a lower high on the weekly time frame. Stochastics here still coming up, still definitely tells us, hey, we may have some bullish momentum, but price action is the main thing to be aware of here. If we confirm a weekly lower high here, I don't think price action will be looking good for the long term, at least for the next year, potentially to the downside. I'm not going to cover any major targets. I want to play it level by level on the daily. That is the chart that I'm trading, but we have plenty of examples of where this Huff 104 tells us bear market is likely to ensue, and we do see evidence of that potentially playing out on the daily as well here with that downside momentum. We got the daily Huff 104 broken and confirmed 3 times below, but we're not playing with the Huff 104, are we? We're playing with the 21. If I can find it, fuck me. So again, look. Very, 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 very easy stuff to recognize, right? And we're just looking at the 21. We see this sharp incline of momentum here, and we're starting to see that curl over. That tells me that there's a lot of selling pressure on the 21 exponential. So if the 21 exponential breaks to the downside, we've highlighted our first target. Now, of course, I have to cover the potential upside. We do see stochastics on the daily looking for a little bit of a cross to the upside. Could that mean something for the bullish perspective? Yes, I do think it could mean something if the 21 holds, right? If the 21 holds, maybe we see one last final run to the upside before potentially putting in that bear market signal. And if we close above the 21, again, I wouldn't look for any reason not to think that 47,950 wouldn't be a potential target to the upside, but I'm looking for a closure above the, that horizontal resistance. Again, it has been confirmed as resistance as of 8 p.m. yesterday, and I'm going to be looking at this region to get rejected so long as price action remains with candle body closures below it. I'll be looking at that region as resistance. But if we do close above it, maybe we have another shot at $50,000. And why do I have a big old line on $50,000? If we take out that $50,000 target on a daily time frame here, again, this being a colossal, major level, lots of points of relevance here. We've highlighted them in the past. We have a lot of points of support along this $50,000 region, now acting as tentative resistance. Seeing a break of that region here on a daily candle closure basis, I would have no reason not to think 52,800 would be the next target to the upside. And possibly even more, right? I don't look at this, 52,800 target as a, staunch resistance. More to the point, this thick boy here, is the most critical resistance that I'm looking at right now. If price action does, pop up and take that out, then good for me, right? Good for me, because my position is still open as long as we are closing candle bodies above the 21. And that's kind of my disposition, on Bitcoin. It's been boring, right? Unless you're like a scalp trader or a range trader here, it's been boring. I've been just kind of waiting patiently for the next setup or for the next signal to either get out or open a short. So, kind of a boring analysis, but it's kind of related to the boring price action that we've been seeing. But the only thing relevant right now, in my opinion, as far as my trading strategies are concerned, we are putting a lot of pressure on that 21 exponential right now. Actually seeing a couple of wicks below it already confirmed. My stop loss was nearly hit today, but it wasn't hit. So I've actually been, I think, 2 days without adjusting, because the 21 here has essentially been flatlined. So I've been sitting at the same stop loss, which is now like 1.5% below the 21. 1.5% now, something like that below the 21. And I'm just patiently waiting. I'm staying cool, calm, and collective, waiting like a snake in the grass for my next position. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin here. We're gonna go ahead and check out Mr. AMC. Mr. AMC confirming uptrend continuation, closing candles above this resistance here. I did say that this was a possibility yesterday, and boom, look at that. The TA mumbo jumbo shit actually works sometimes, right? Closing above 44.85, it makes me think, yeah, maybe we see a little bit of a pullback, confirm that region as new tentative support, or we could just see momentum just carry it on. This is the next target that I'm looking at here is 48 spot 22. What is momentum telling us? Continuation to the upside, confirming the bottom side of the bullish control zone here as tentative support for the stochastics. The exponentials back to a positive slope and gaining momentum. I like that signal. New highs printing on the RSI, taking out a lot. All of these highs, right? All these highs in the past. Next high that I'm going to be looking for is the 64 read here, as momentum is increasing, in my opinion, for AMC. The exponential is back above the 50, with positive momentum here. And again, boom, here's your high, followed by another higher low and continuation to new highs here. All evident within the price action on the chart here today. I am going to be looking for continuation. Now that is indicative of a possibility of seeing a pullback to this region. As you know, and any region basically above $40.30 here, any pullback to that region, as long as we are closing candles above it, we do have the premise for a higher low structure. But I think the momentum takes this one on to the next target to the upside, to be really honest with you. And that's just my opinion. And again, I trade technical analysis, not my opinion. But if my opinion actually had any validity, I would say this one's looking real fresh for some continuation to the upside here. In my opinion, things get very exciting for AMC if we take out $54. Things get very, very, very exciting, and I don't think we're that far off here. This is again the next target to the upside, right around 48 spot 33. If we take that region out, confirm it as support, secondary candle closure above it. This is going to get to very exciting times for AMC to the upside. Now, if we do, revert and take out this low here at 40.25, I'm going to be looking for a full back test of the $30.24 region, as that is a indication of potential reversal. Taking out our current low. But again, pulling back and closing above it, another premise for another higher low, right? We are in a higher low, higher high structure. Here's your first low right here, followed by a higher high, and then a higher low, and then boom, higher high, boom, higher low, higher high. So the uptrend is your friend until the end of the trend. So again, don't be scared if there's pullbacks, unless it's some kind of black swan event and it just fucking crushes that 21 exponential. As long as price actions close above that 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for vast continuation. Same thing with MMAT, seeing a little bit of a bounce and confirmation of new tentative support here around the $4.30 region. So I am going to be looking for continuation to this prior open right around $5. We're just going to call it $5, give or take a few cents. But that's the general target that I'm looking for coming into tomorrow, unless we see a breakdown below the $4.27 support, at which point I would be targeting the 21 exponential for a pullback here at $3.77. We have a little bit of evidence that that is a possibility. We're starting to see stochastics here curl over a little bit, right? A little bit, but we're still in the bullish control zone. We're still above the exponential. Anything could happen. A test of the exponential followed by a boom to the upside is a possibility, or a fresh cross down is a possibility, which would be indicative, in my opinion, of a closure below that $4.27 region here. I think that would be the pivotal point here for stochastics across to the downside. However, RSI, same thing as AMC, printing new highs, gaining momentum a little bit. Pullbacks would not be out of the question to test that support once again. Maybe see a test of that 50 read confirm and the bullish momentum take back over. But nonetheless, we are printing new highs on the momentum oscillators here. I'm bullish. Again, I'm bullish. As long as we're above the 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for more upside, barring any kind of significant event that sends price action to close candles below it. So very, very simple stuff, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit of consolidation would be out of the question, right? We already have, kind of our resistance and support for a potential consolidation here. $4.96 being that resistance, $4.27 being that support. It's possible we could see that violent consolidation before the next move to the upside, but I think it's too early to tell. I think it's a little too early to tell. I'm waiting for tomorrow. I'm excited for tomorrow's price action here. Maybe take some profits. Hall of Fame, same thing. I would consider this a test of support here, maybe a test of the 21 with a sharp reaction here. I don't like this though. I don't like this price action here. Two reversal style candlesticks closing. There's definitely some indecision in the market. That much is evident, but we do see stochastics crossing into that bullish critical zone. Not very much of a move. Well, I mean, I did say it was a 30% move, right? I did say it was 30% from low to high right now. 30% exactly. So, maybe it is a good enough of a move here for the Hall of Fame to be considered in that critical zone. But, maybe it's indicative of potential pullback. I don't think we have a higher low in this structure. No, we do not have a higher low. If we are to formulate an uptrend, which we do have the beginning steps of an uptrend, right? We do have a higher high. It wouldn't be out of the question to see pullbacks to that 21, maybe even a little lower to $2.83, base a higher low structure there, and see continuation to new highs here. But we're seeing support resistance right now. So the most important thing to pay attention to from my perspective are the next two levels here. Any candle closure above $3.38, I think the boom happens now, and the next target becomes $3.75. But if we put in a top here with any candle closure below yesterday's wick low, somewhere around $3.30, I would expect a little bit of a top call and continuation to the downside. Maybe I'd be a little more conservative and say a closure below $3.26 sparks that top call, and a pullback to the first level here at $3.05 would not be out of the question, and a pullback to, you guessed it, $2.85 would not be out of the question either, as long as we are closing candles above $2.56. We have the premise to formulate a higher low structure within this move right now. So obviously we close candles below $2.56. I think it's going to be straight to the depths of stock market hell for this one. But we are well and far away from that. I don't want to do anything hindsight. I want to stick with the the few levels that I have right now and the 21 exponential. And as long as we're closing above the 21 exponential, obviously I'm going to be looking for continuation. I need some water. Ooh, it's getting warm in here. Man, her laptop is fucking hot. Woo! And as a reminder, if you guys like this video, hit me with the like button, hit me with that subscribe, hit that little bell. It helps the YouTube algorithm and helps the YouTube channel grow. And I did put in the description today that, it doesn't have to be all technical analysis talk. If you guys, want to interact with me in any way, you can ask me questions about anything, my work life, my home life, anything like that. Like, I want to be able to interact with, with the subscribers and with the Blackfire community. Again, I want to show appreciation by, communicating with you guys. Talk to me if you want to talk to me. I'm on here for about an hour every day anyway, so it doesn't always have to be all technical analysis. We can spice it up with some different types of questions every once in a while, right? Yeah. All right, let's move on. I think the last one I want to check out no, I think that is the last one I want to check out. Yeah, Hall of Fame. I think I want to go ahead and move on to requests, and I think that will do it for the stream today, although we have a lot of requests, so we got some time. Fubo, I'm going to guess daily. I didn't get a time frame here. I'm looking for continuation on this one. I'm going to be looking for $30.70 on this one. Again, that nice boom right off that 21 exponential here. This is our secondary candle closure above the 21. I would be entering a long position. Maybe we see a back test of support here at 27.71. That would not be out of the question here. Maybe even a little higher. Maybe I can move this region up a little bit. Maybe $28. See a little bit of a pullback. Print another higher low before continuing onwards and upwards. But momentum oscillators are telling me continuation, confirming that diagonal uptrend line with the third touch here. Long-term structure is intact. RSI breaking above the 50 read here and above the exponential. The exponential also breaking the 50 read. Both very positive signals for potential continuation here. Maybe the 4-hour gives us a little bit of continuation. I'm looking for continuation overall on this, guys. Very, very, very powerful move right now. Putting in new highs, confirming an uptrend. It will be kind of exciting to see price action potentially go up towards $30 here. Again, we did see a little bit of a bull trap here on the daily time frame before sending this price action back into consolidation, but the range has broken, right? The range has broken. Again, this bull trap being based off this range here, coming right up and then coming right back down into the range once again to confirm consolidation continuation. But now we have broken that range once again, and we have taken out another secondary resistance at $29, closing above $29.04 at $29.15. So, the momentum is definitely up to the upside on this one. Kind of excited to come back tomorrow and look at this one because I do believe this one has enough to go up to that $30.65 target here. But again, plan for everything. Plan for everything. It's so important to plan for everything, and part of that plan is potentially looking for a pullback, even to the 21 exponential here. As long as we are closing above this prior low at 26.13, anywhere above there is free game, free ground for a potential higher low to formulate within this structure. But I do believe if a higher low is to form, it'll be somewhere around $28 or maybe even the yellow 21 exponential. So. To the downside, if we do close below the 21 exponential, I'll look at that as a reversal indicator with a bearish engulfing candlestick here. And I'll be looking for the first target to be that prior low and maybe even lower, as I would be looking at another trap, luring bulls into to potentially, convincing them that this is an uptrend and then trapping them in the formation, taking their money. It happens all the time. That's why I wait for confirmation. That's why, I plan for everything. So, those are a couple of downside targets. We got a couple of upside targets. If we come in tomorrow and then close above 30.60 here, I think things really get fun with this formation here. Anything above $34 here, we likely have uptrend continuation. This is our last macro low here, and we could be easily using this structure here, this base of support at $25 as a macro low setup as well before continuing to new highs. It could potentially get exciting here, but we got to wait for confirmation on this one. So that's where I'm going to leave that one. What is next? AHT. Nope. Still looking for continuation to the downside. As long as you're closing candles below that 21 exponential here, I am absolutely confident that this is a dog shit chart here. And to be frank, to be honest, right? If I have to throw in my valid opinion here, I think this chart overall is just a pile of shit, not worth trading. But I don't want to offend anybody. That's just my own opinion here. And we are still closing candles below that 21. I have no reason at all to think that this one is going to turn into some bullish uptrend, whatever. We're seeing this, Linda Zhu says, thank you for sharing your analysis about Hall of Fame. I've been following your videos for a while. Thank you for supporting, Linda. I appreciate it. I do Hall of Fame every night. I'm also an investor and, kind of a trader, right? I'm trading like 3 shares right now, like, I don't know, $9 worth, right? I think my first take profit on the Hall of Fame was like 32 cents or something like that. I sold a share for 32 cents. I'm just, I'm just diving into the stock market as far as the trading is, considered. But as far as investing in the Hall of Fame, I've been a long time investor. I wonder if you think Hall of Fame will return to $4 or above in September. For the Hall of Fame, again, it's not about crystal ball. I never do any kind of time predictions because I don't think that that really works for me. Some people can do, that hocus pocus crystal ball stuff too, but I don't think it's as accurate as the analysis would be. As far as September is concerned, maybe, but again, that we're playing around with that $3.35 region here. It is possible that we put a high in first, come back down, do a little bit of a retrace, maybe middle of September, continue the uptrend. Again, if we get confirmation of an uptrend, we don't have that higher low structure just yet, so uptrend is not confirmed on this one just yet, right? We need the evidence of an uptrend. Yeah, I mean, we have a trade above the 21 exponential, but we don't have an uptrend just yet. And until we base that higher low structure, I'm going to be looking for anything could potentially happen here. I'm not gonna throw my opinion out there because my opinion is invalid. The technicals, what the technicals tell me is the most relevant case here to build. And right now for an uptrend, we don't have a case just yet. I'm not saying it's not possible we don't see one. We just don't have that higher low. So I'm actually, to be quite honest with you, I'm actually looking for potentially a little bit of a pullback first, base a higher low before coming back up, testing this $3.37 region. But if we break it early, we break it prematurely here, maybe even coming into tomorrow, maybe a pop up to $4 would not be out of the question. I actually put a little bit of a level there, but again, I play it level by level with TA here. Oh, that is huge. That is a thick boy. I forgot to change the settings. I forgot to change the settings here. Gonna go right back there. Booyah. So, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, Linda, for the Hall of Fame to hit $4 in September. All I'm saying is that I don't have any confidence in giving you a confident answer, right? I can't give you a confident answer because I don't know. Anything could happen from now to the middle of September to the end of September. This thing could crash to zero. This thing could go to the moon, and everything in between. So, that's why I stay away from the time predictions because number one, I wouldn't be right to begin with. Number two, it'd piss a lot of people off. And number three, it doesn't add confidence to my own trading strategies. So I try to stay away from the time of target approach, if that makes any sense. It just makes my life easier, So we'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and move on. What was I just, AHT, right? AHT was what I was looking at here. Ashford Hospitality. Yeah, again, I think this one's dog shit, to be quite honest with you. Closing candles below the 21. Yeah, we're putting upside pressure on it, but look at stochastics. Look at where stochastics is, right? Stochastics is in the bullish control zone, and we're still closing candles below the 21. That's not fucking bullish. That is not bullish. And we are still on lower high alert here, lower high structure here. RSI is still rising. Nice, real choppy, non-momentous upside movement here. No, I am not confident in any upside continuation for this. I don't even think it's going to pop up. I could be wrong, but with the evidence that I'm being provided here, this one's telling me it wants to go to the fucking floor here. Price action continuing to reject that 21. Yeah, again, we're putting a little bit of pressure on it, but until we see an open and closure above that 21, I have no reason to look for upside targets. However, that doesn't mean I can't talk about them, right? If we do see an open and closure above that 21 exponential, I will be looking for a pop back up to this region here, 17.37. I don't even know what the hell that's aligned with. Let's get rid of that. That's an old one. We're gonna boop, and we're gonna plot a new point here. We're gonna plot a more accurate point, right? What would be an accurate point? Maybe that was kind of accurate. No, I wouldn't have put one there at all, actually. I would say a closure above the 21 exponential would be indicative of a closure above this resistance level here at 1585, at which point I would be looking for a pullback, like a back test to confirm his new tentative support before confirming movements up to 18.85. That would be my next technical target here for price action. Again, I'm not confident on that because we're below the 21, and as long as we're below the 21, I'm looking for downside momentum here, and we could easily see price action pop back down to 13.96, and if I see a candle close below that region as we are consolidating, I will be looking for new lows. Below here with the Fibonacci here. Any candle closure below the current low at 1278. I do think that's the number. Let's go ahead and make sure. Yeah, 12. We'll just call it 1260. Any closure below 1260 here, I think, sends this one into the depths of hell and hits the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level at $8. Yeah, I think it loses potentially half of its value if we see that prior low, that current low here taken out, which that current low being an all-time low, right? I don't like talking about all-time lows because that's just indicative of potential shit chart, right? Low, 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 down, death, down. A stock that was once worth, you know, upwards of, you know, $1,100 a share, now worth not even a percent of that. So, you know, I'm not confident in this chart, man. I'm looking for the down, to be quite honest with you. I can't even throw in like a, you know, a fabricated opinion because my fabricated opinion of this is just, this is a really terrible, awful, god awful chart that I would never touch with a 10-foot pole. But, you know, the possibility for it to break that 21, it's there. I'm not saying it's not there. Anything can happen here, but this one's not giving me any confidence for bullish momentum. Again, we are in a lower high structure here. As long as we are below this resistance level here and below the 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for continuation to the downside. Now, I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I'll say that I'm wrong, and I'll start looking for upside target possibilities on this one. But for now, that's where I'm going to leave that one. We're going to go ahead and move on. Wish. Oh, the fucking napkins. Oh, more napkins. I fucking order a beach towel and get a fucking napkin. Yeah, I'm still looking down on this one, guys. I mean, this one's not a new asset. Well, it is a new asset. It opened in December 16th of last year. So, you know, any analysis that I do provide is going to be provided with low confidence, but I am confident in saying that this one is absolute trash. It's been coming down ever since. Ever since it's opened. It had like a week-long uptrend, 2-week-long uptrend, and then boom, bearish ever since. We see stochastics here deep in the bearish critical zone here, looking for a little bit of a fresh cross up, maybe even confirmed a fresh cross up. But what do we have as evidence for that to continue to the upside? Nothing. I'm going to put a resistance level here. We could potentially be looking at consolidation between the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level and the 7.62 here for price action. It's been consolidating after that nasty, heinous decline of a gap to the downside, putting in a new all-time low. I don't like new all-time lows. I don't like new all-time lows, man. I like new all-time highs. I like I like higher highs and higher lows. I like uptrends. This is not an uptrend. If you're shorting this, it is your friend. This trend is your friend until that trend comes to an end. And while we do have a tiny little bit uptrend right now on this formation, we are still closing candles below that 21 exponential, and until I see confirmation above the 21 exponential here, I'm not going to be looking for upside targets. Although I will outline a couple of potential upsides here. That one being one here, that one being another one, that one being another one. Yeah, I would say if we close above the 21 exponential here and confirm a secondary closure above that region, I would look for extension to 855 to the upside. However, as long as we remain below this resistance, consolidation could be the answer here. Again, we do have a low followed by a higher high, and then a higher low, and then another higher high. But we're meeting resistance. We're failing to get out of this consolidation, a low. We're basically consolidating on the lows. Looking for a potential setup. I don't see any setups here, to be quite honest with you. What is RSI telling us? Yeah, not much. And even with the analysis that I'm providing you guys on this asset, I am not confident in it at all. Number one, because it's been just straight down the entire time. Number two, it's not even a year old yet, and technical analysis utilizes past price action history as points of relevance for inferences on new price action in the future. And we don't have that many points of reference here in the past except for down, down, and more fucking down. So those are a couple of the possibilities for this one here. Wish, but again, not too confident here. We're consolidating. It's consolidation. Blah 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 blah. You know the gist, right? Until we take out a resistance or support, I'm going to be looking for it to continue consolidating here for a while. 4 hour though. Let's look at the 4 hour. I failed to do the 4 hour. We do have a 4 hour uptrend, but guess what? We're still closing below the 21, right? No setups. I have no setups in mind. Look at RSI here, right? Kind of looking like it's ready to curl over already, right? Not looking too hot on the 4 hour. Stochastics just booming, right? Stochastics booming, basically aiming for a new high. And the entire time 4 hour stochastics has been booming, we have seen no break of that exponential. We have seen no break of any critical horizontal support and resistance, although we have potentially formulated some shorter term time frame horizontal resistances and supports. We haven't taken any of them out. We haven't taken any of them out except for this region here, which doesn't really give me confidence on continuation, full-blown continuation to the upside. More to the point, even on the 4 hour, we remain below the 21 exponential. And on both of those time frames, as long as we remain below that 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for downside continuation here. Let's see, SNDL. Oh, SNDL. So we finally got a candle closure above the 21 exponential. Warning, shot fired. A close of that region above the prior high, a new high, and escaping the bearish control zone. Warning shot fired number 2. RSI printing a new high and an uptrend. Warning shot fired number 3. I'll be more confident if we close a secondary candle closure above that 21 tomorrow. Tomorrow, not next week, tomorrow, with a cross above that 50 read and stochastics continuing above that 50 read as well. We are not that far away from the 50 read as it stands at the current moment in time, so I do believe a secondary closure above that 50 read likely initiates that confirmation for me to take a position, which I will. I have positions for SNDL lined up right now just because I can put a little bit of money in there and get a fuck ton of shares, and trade with a less money and potentially make more, right? That's always the objective. Long term though, I mean, this one's not the pinnacle of health and fitness, right? It isn't a downtrend. A pop up above the 21 could potentially send price action to this price target here at 99 cents, but I would be looking ultimately for downtrend continuation, as we do have a lot of series of lower highs, no lower lows, so we could be looking at a base here before just mooning. But do I have that much confidence in a penny stock? No, I'm actually just looking to trade the 21 here for some quick choppy profit, hit a couple of targets to the upside potentially, and get the fuck out. The first target to the upside, if we confirm a candle closure above the 21, is going to be 82 cents, followed by 86 cents. However, if we see rejection tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for this level here at 73 cents to be the first potential target. And if that region gets taken out, I might be looking for new lows below 69 cents here over time. But that's kind of how I'm looking at that against stochastics. Not too bad. RSI, not too bad. We have our upside targets and our downside targets. 4 hour though. Yeah, 4 hours above the 21 here, but still hitting that ceiling of resistance. I do think we need to see that ceiling of resistance taken out if there's going to be any confidence in continuation to the upside. I would be confident in saying if we see a 4 hour close above that region, we could see the shorter term time frame spike up to that 82 cent region. We do have a bounce of support on the bullish control zone here, the bottom side of the bullish control zone, continuing to the upside. I do like that signal, and I don't like RSI not printing a new high. Looking at a little bit of rejection, a little bit of weakness here at that past high here that called bearish divergence. But 4 hour RSI continuing onwards and upwards, printing new highs on RSI and continuing the momentous strength above that resistance would give me confidence of 82 cents being the next target. But if we see a closure below the 21, we likely get a lower high here. Again, we do have the precipice for a 4 hour downtrend in formation, with a series of lower lows printing out and a structural lower high. Might send price action back down to 68 cents. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that one. What else do I got? BIDU. I don't think I've ever did this one. Baidu. What is that one? Baidu. I didn't get a time frame for that one, so I'm just going to stick with the daily. Oh boy. Is this a shit? Let's look at the weekly. What is the weekly telling us? Oh, I mean, the weekly is fucking absolutely astonishing here. we're closing below the weekly 21. That's not a good signal at all. We do have a weekly low though, but does it continue? That is the question. I do looking at this resistance here on the weekly, to be quite honest with you. A weekly closure above 165 bucks likely sends price action to the 21 exponential, and even a little bit higher possibly to this base of support here. Let's see how that lines up with the daily. Yeah, that would be indicative. We do have a closure above the daily 21. So the next thing that I'm going to be looking for here is, again, a secondary closure coming into tomorrow, no later and no earlier than tomorrow, to confirm a potential edge on the 21 exponential here. Let's see, stochastics back above the 50 read here, warning shot fired, RSI. That's a weird formation, but printing new highs and a higher low. Warning shot fired number 2. Secondary candle closure above the 21 would be warning shot fired number 3, at which point I would look for price to fall anywhere in this consolidation box between 165.15 and 167.72. Give or take a few cents, right? And that would be my next price target here, again, if we do confirm that candle above the 21 exponential. However, if we reject, I don't think it'll be good for this price action. I don't think it will be good for this price action, as I think the next target to the downside would be a $139. 139.30 would be a potential target to the downside if we reject that 21 exponential here. But things are shaping up for a potential up movement here, and I am confident in saying that I'm going to be looking for this one to confirm a secondary candle closure above that 21 tomorrow. And if that is confirmed, I'll be even more confident for continuation to the upside. And I think that's going to do it for the stream, everybody. Thanks for being here. If you guys like the content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. And that'll do it for today. Same time tomorrow, everybody. And until next time, stay safe.